This video is aimed at advanced developers who have a strong understanding of CSS and in particular media queries. So you can see here we have a list control, and the list control looks like it's snaking. So you can see there's record number 1 in the list, there's record number 2, record number 3, record number 4, etc. But what you can see now is when we start to change the size of the browser here and therefore change the size of the list control, that each cell in the list here is actually squashing. So unlike the snaking layout, which we've shown in a previous video where the cell size is fixed in size, here you can see the cell size is changing as I change the size of the browser window. And then what's going to happen is when the browser window gets small enough so that there's no longer enough room for 4 columns, instead of going to 3 columns, what we've programmed here is that it's going to jump straight to 2 columns. So you can see it's getting smaller, and then at a certain point it went to 2 columns, and again now when we change the size of the window, the cell size here gets smaller, and then when we go eventually beyond a certain point, then it jumps down to 1 column width. So let's go and see how this was actually done. So we go back to our list properties here, and if we look at the list here, we can see that we have not used the snaking layout as you might have expected, but we actually are using a vertical layout. And then if we look at the class name that we're using for each row in the list, we've chosen dialog.style.listItem, which is the default style used for all rows in the list, and then we've added additional CSS class name here called snaking item. So let's go now and look at local CSS where the snaking item class has been defined. So you can see here that we have a definition here for snaking item, and the width has been set to 23%. So 100% divided by 23% means we're going to get 4 columns of data initially. And then we have a media query that says that if the width gets to be less than 700 pixels, then set the snaking item width to 48%, which would give us 2 columns. And then finally, if the width gets to be less than 400 pixels, then set the snaking item width to be 98%, which will give us 1 column. So these are the CSS properties here that cause the list to actually flow horizontally rather than vertically, as would be the case if we didn't have the snaking item class assigned to the list item. So this local CSS is defined as part of the list definition over here, and then we're using it in the class name for each list item. So thanks very much for watching.